name's Forney. I'm 28 years old. I rode my bike across the U.S. and it was really awesome. Really, it was kind of just a thought that I had during the middle of the winter when I was cooped up in my cabin. I read a couple books that talked about people doing really adventurous things. One was Planet Walker, and the other one was called The Memory of Running. In both of those books, these guys, they had no experience doing what they set out to do, and they kind of just took a chance, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have that feeling of excitement. I wanted to go on an expedition. When I got to San Diego, a lot of stuff was going through my mind. I would say I was really anxious. I really didn't know what I was doing, and I was also a little bit afraid. You're asking yourself, what if I fail? But I was also really excited to get started because everything about this trip was new to me. Secret. But I went down and I felt the water earlier. It was really important to me, so I kind of put those fears and anxieties on the back burner and just, I don't know, I took off. So the Southern Tier, it just worked for me. I wanted to set myself up for success, so I knew that the Southern Tier would be the warmest route. So I just got to Alpine, California. Got a ride to Pine Valley next. And I think I gained about 4,000 vertical feet. So it's gonna be a low miles and high climbing day. So I'll either set up camp there or possibly ride to where the Pacific Crest Trail meets up. Might do a little hiking tonight.
Mile 100!
It was way harder than what I thought it would be.
Imperial sand dunes. Possible drifting sand. Next 7 miles. You can see there. 109. I'm torn between just walking because it's so crappy.
But come to find out, after the first week, being in good shape versus being in good cycling shape, they're two different things. So in that aspect, it was really hard.
Yeah. About every 20 to 30 seconds, big old semi comes by.
And then the first day I only made it 20 miles or something. And that was when reality was holy crap, this trip might take a lot longer than what I thought.
Oh, what a climb. This hill never ends. I'm going 8 miles an hour. Nothing but hill. Ah!
How many flats did you get from that?
A lot. I think the total was 9 flats. Bike was about 26 pounds, and all the bags together I think were about 60. The first part of the trip I was just getting flat after flat. It wasn't until I hit El Centro, California, that I actually got the right setup.
big man. I wanna love you and treat you right. I wanna love you every day and every night. We'll be together with the roof right over our heads. We'll share the shelter of my single bed. We'll share the same room, yeah. But I provide a bread. Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? I wanna know, wanna know, wanna know.
At times, you really needed something to motivate yourself. And for me, looking at the big picture of the United States was really overwhelming. Mentally, it was just a little more each day and not trying to think too far ahead. So I kind of had to like break it down like state by state and then like county by county, even in some states like Texas. Like a whole county in Texas is like the size of a small state. El Paso finally, and I'm downtown, and it is stressful driving. These people are like craziest drivers besides Washington DC, and I'm trying to make it out of the city before it gets dark and rush hour and trying not to get hit by a car. There was definitely times where I was in my own world. Being by myself and the monotony of pedaling, I started to kind of get a little crazy at some point.
Yes! Yeah! Woo! Going down the hill. Going down the hill. What if I hit a cactus? Maybe I will. I'm going down the hill. Woo!
Especially when like you felt like the odds were really against you.
Yeah, this has got to be the worst day of the trip so far. I got like 30-mile-an-hour headwind. Traffic is horrible. The shoulder is just basically speed bump after speed bump, and my butt hurts from riding. I'm sore. I'm pretty much just complaining a lot. But just about everything that you could put against the cyclist, I'm up against all of that today.
And sometimes it was just really brutal conditions that felt like to be riding in that you couldn't really escape. So for motivation, you know, I'd put in music. Sometimes if you were on a highway and the traffic was just so loud and obnoxious and dangerous, really, I'd put in my headphones and I'd put on like classical music and just blare it. And I don't know, it was kind of like bringing order to all the chaos. I listened to everything, really. The classical came in handy for like really chaotic times. If I really wanted to just crank away at the miles, I'd put on some like dance music or electronic. You really have to change it up or else you get bored.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
That was fun.
I carried a lot of stuff that I didn't need to at first, and I ended up mailing back like 8 pounds of stuff.
Decided that I'm gonna drop some weight after doing that hill. Primarily extra tubes. I had 4 and I've went 500 miles without a flat, so I'm ditching those. Some clothes, this thing, pedal wrench that I don't need, and the worst part is I'm ditching this guitar. I really had big plans to play it a lot, but my hand's been hurting from riding so much that I just haven't been able to use it. So
Clothing wise, it's pretty minimal. A couple pairs of bike shorts and some t-shirts and some warm layers.
it's a little chilly this morning. I'd say it's about 40, 45.
There were a few times where I'd wake up and all my wet stuff was frozen solid. You wouldn't think being down in the desert that you would run into that, but it was definitely a reality.
I think we're at about, I want to say like 4,000 feet of elevation. I just want to show you how cold it is. Boxers.
How often did you bathe or wash your clothes?
Well, to be honest, I'd have to say it was about once a week. And I know that's like really gross and disgusting, but you know, you're by yourself and you don't have anybody to impress. I was camping a lot.
Yo, my name's Carter. I'm biking across America. And this is my crib, y'all. Let's go. We got the plants on 2 corners, some cement pavers. This is where I slept. Not so bad. I'm actually underneath the church. Church parking only. Violators will be baptized. Got my camp right here. So it's about 6 o'clock. Trains have been going by all night. going down. You know, I always talk about homeless style on a stoop. This is what I mean. So I gotta get out of here before the morning, before daylight. It's pretty sweet. I dried out all my clothes. I feel like such a rebel. Well, so much for being dry. It's freaking pouring down rain right on my stoop here. It just like came in. This is what they talk about. Yes, it does rain in Texas. All of my stuff, like, it was just like an immediate, like, the level. Holy shit. Oh my God. I shouldn't say that, I'm at a church. Holy smokes. Woo! Wow. I gotta go, I gotta do stuff.
There were some lyrics to that I looked at. It's like a classic blues song. I can never remember the lyrics though.
What was oh, I got one here. I don't know if it'll work with the string, but
I made it to New Orleans. Going to the documentary. Sleeping.
I know he sees us. Slow, big movements.
Look, there's a guy. Yeah!
Mississippi. Do you curtsy? Do you curtsy?
Curtsy. Keep our cabin. And it is killer. I want to keep going. Gotta eat some tuna.
Something for his punk ass. What I really wanna know. What I really wanna come here.
To be honest, I don't think the trip would be the same in regards to meeting new people and really like understanding an area if it wasn't for warm showers.
Yeah. Hello.
I just found out about warm showers right when I started the ride.
What up? Welcome to San Diego. Enjoy your
And it's
cruise.
a really beneficial and comforting site. People use to meet other bicyclists and also kind of share resources.
Thanks.
Usually the warm showers host would have a shower that I could, you know, clean up and feel clean and get the road grime off. You develop a profile, agree that when you're able, you can provide a place for fellow cyclists to stay.
Say what up.
Man, yeah. We're on the Florida. Yeah.
And in return, you get all of this like huge amount of information.
So I'm here in the bike house, and this place is awesome. It's like a hostel for bikers. Cool. There's all sorts of cool stuff here, like a bicycle washing machine.
Maps and an online app to locate people along your route that are willing to give you a place to stay or a shower or a hot meal.
Say hi, Mark. Hi, Mark.
And you know, really
Riding the levee.
after you've done it, your view on people and the real safety is a lot different, because 99% of people are not out to hurt you.
A series that I'm working on right now called People Doing What They Do. And it's really based here on the border in El Paso and Juarez. This piece right in front of us is a musician who works in Juarez.
So I think one of the things that really deters people from taking on an adventure like this is the fear that gets to be instilled from the media and other people, you know, that place has got a bad reputation, it's dangerous, you're gonna get mugged. A ride like this kind of restores your faith in humanity, because I met so many really awesome people that let me into their homes and, you know, treated me like I was part of their family.
It's so crazy that we could have potentially just ridden straight through here down the main drag, and we would not have run into.
Most people do.
Wow.
She did our logo is a sunflower, but she kind of did a snaky Medusa sunflower.
I'm in the Air Relax compression boots and it feels awesome. And hopefully I'm gonna feel like $1 million after this.
Treated me like I was part of their family and gained a lot of really useful and interesting local knowledge.
Nice.
Not bad for 5.
How's it going, guys? My name's Carter. This is my bike, and I'm gonna cycle across America on it. I'm going to begin my 3-month bike trip, and I'm gonna be covering about 3,000 miles and end up all the way in St. Augustine, Florida.
When I first started to come up with the idea of doing this trip, you know, I know a lot of people have done it already, so I'm not the first one that's done
The way
it.
it's gonna work is I'm gonna purchase a kit from an organization. It's a nonprofit called Bikes for Goodness Sake, and in the kit it's got a helmet and tools to assemble the bike. Once I finish building the bike with the help of my friends and family and maybe a local bike shop, I'm gonna give it to somebody that needs it, and it's gonna make them really happy. You know, everybody remembers their first bike, and being a part of that is going to be really special, I think.
People do charity bike rides all the time.
$2,500, and this is going to help me buy around 10 bikes. So by donating, you're not only helping these kids get a free bike, but you're also creating memories that are going to stick with these kids for the rest of their lives.
I was reading this book. Yes, I checked out a book about, it's called The Bicycle Touring Blueprint. And it was talking about riding for charity, and it said, it kind of like urged you to not do it because it was so, it took so much effort and a lot of logistical stuff.
Say hi to the vlog.
I wanted to be able to use my talents and my drive to do something good.
If I built bikes like this, that's pretty cool.
I felt like it would be worth it in the end.
Go to their house and drop off these bikes, and hopefully they're going to be really happy about it. It's been a lot of hard work finding, like, wrangling up the right kids to receive the bikes, but I think it'll be worth it. So stay tuned for the next episode. Test every bike for safety.
And at any point, if I felt like I wasn't having fun with it, I could just give it up. But I wanted to do something that was in my control. So that's when I came up with building the bikes for kids. And I got in touch with the Bikes for Goodness Sake, and Mark and Pete, the founders of that nonprofit, they really kind of helped me jump through the hoops and figure out what I needed to do to make it happen. And that was a huge help to me and kind of like pushed me into actually committing to it and doing it. So once I kind of thought, yeah, I can do this, I'm gonna try at least. I started the GoFundMe and, you know, let people know that I was doing it, and I was confident that people would support me.
So who are you giving these bikes to?
One kid is, I don't know their names yet.
Yeah, that's okay.
This one is going to a family I found through Toys for Tots.
Uh-huh.
And they have like 4 kids, and the oldest one wants a bike. They can't afford it.
Yep.
Other one is going to a 14-year-old whose mom is battling cancer. So he had a BMX bike, but he took it off a jump or something and it broke.
Okay.
So he's gonna get to hook up with a new one. So we are on our way to go pick up a bike. Gonna purchase one from Columbus Cycling and Fitness. With all the stuff that's going on, I really don't have time to build another bike because I'm working on the documentary and working out the logistics of going back home. So I'm gonna go and just put a little bit of money back into the community and the local cycling economy by buying a bike from these guys.
Hi, this is Joe from Columbus Cycling Fitness. We've been here 30 years, here to help, and your documentary is pretty cool. Glad to be a part of it.
Which I think is this one. Do they have that one in stock? That whole... It was fun, and I thought that maybe for Christmas you guys would like a bicycle.
Thank you.
Yeah? Yeah? Alright, cool. Well, I got a couple bikes here. Put it on. Is that too tight?
No.
No? Alright, buckle that bottom part. You know how to ride?
Yeah.
Yeah? So this bike has brakes this way, you can squeeze them like this.
Yeah, emergency brake.
And then also if you push backwards. Take her for a spin, let me see it. Alright. Heck yeah. That actually fits in pretty good. Cool, let me get this one down.
Right in the mud.
So this one's, I got this one yesterday. And I wasn't really into BMX.
Oh, I am.
You are?
I love BMX.
On it, so yeah.
Redline is one of the best BMX.
Yeah, it's a pretty good brand. They're both red lines.
It weighs so little.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, Merry Christmas and enjoy. Definitely use them. Yeah. Rock on, boys, rock on.
And I'm just like totally blown away at like how many people followed me and supported me along the way, and it's totally been worth it.
Hello? Hey, I think I'm at your place. You gotta, okay, I see ya. All right, cool. I'm gonna get the bike out. I was thinking maybe you guys might like to ride it around. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? So who's going for the first ride?
You don't know how to ride a bike.
You don't know how to ride yet? Do you know? You know how to ride? A little bit? Cool, let's go over here where it's, we're not gonna wreck in the grass. Good. It looks like it fits you pretty good. Take the first spin.
It was a struggle sometimes to make the phone calls and do that kind of stuff while I was on my bike trip, but it was worth it when I saw the kids.
There you go.
You know, giving them the bikes and seeing how happy they were. It was awesome.
Hey, give him the helmet. Oh, thank you. Yeah, always wear your helmet. Ready? So if you pedal backwards, that stops. And that stops. That works good, doesn't it? Oh, we're hitting ramps already? You wanna ride it? Yes. Put your foot on there. All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
He's the one that wants to get go, but he doesn't.
So after a little bit of practice. Oh,
A picture or
yeah,
something
can we take a picture?
of everybody together.
It took me 66 days, and I started in October and I ended in December. And I rode, I think on my odometer it said about 3,100 miles. So it was a long trip. Could I have taken longer? Yeah. Could I have done it faster? Probably. But I think it was like the perfect amount of time for the trip.
What was the moment of riding onto the beach? What did you feel? What was going through your head?
Well, if you want, you can watch the video that my brother Riker took. I posted it live on Facebook, and you can watch it at that point.
We're going. This is it. The home stretch. What up, everybody? Coming to you from Anastasia State Park. Pretty stoked to be here right now. It's been a long one. It's been super incredible, and I'm really glad that I did it. And I feel like I'm getting a Grammy right now or something.
The emotions that were going through my head were, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I was elated. I think that would be a great word. Would be elated.
So we're coming up on the beach here, and I got my cameraman, Riker Man, fireman. I'm honored to do the last 30 miles with Carter.
Everything was like culminating into this one point, and I've been working so hard for this, and I've been thinking about it for 3 months, and it was kind of bittersweet too.
We got a party up here waiting on us.
Here I've been like working for this goal, and I've been seeing all these new places and meeting all these new people, and now it's got to end.
If I fell and ate it right here.
It was kind of sad also to know that that part of my life was over.
Oh man. You're dead, you're dead. Guys, thanks for being here. We really mean it a lot. I can't believe I'm not.
While I have this on, I kind of want to like hit on why this is such a good thing to do. It opens up your brain and it gets your brain charged. Every mile and every second that you're doing something that's out of your comfort zone and something new, your brain is like learning and it's soaking in everything that's coming at it and it's trying to adapt. So the whole time you're on a trip like this, your brain is just super engaged. And it really makes time go by a lot slower, and it makes you like see subtle differences in people and, you know, the world around us. And I think that that's important for human beings to do, because there's a part of your brain that needs different stimulation.
What part of your body hurt the worst? These are just kind of random questions now.
I would say my butt. I can't like give you the details without you cringing. What did I eat? I had a pretty sporadic diet. It was like I'd carry around a jar of pure vanilla icing, and I would just take like a spoonful and eat a spoonful of icing. It was like I almost always had a honey bear with me. I keep it in like my front pocket, and when I felt like I needed an energy burst, I would just like do a honey shot. I wrecked. It was I was in Texas, in Del Rio, Texas.
Hey, let me see your knee. Yeah.
There's no scrape. Nothing but a flesh wound.
Yeah, my arm's starting to swell up.
Thanksgiving with the bros.
Delicious.
So thankful for this margarita.
I don't know, delicious.
Finger licking good. Let's party.
Holy. Oh, shit.
So I had a Surly long haul trucker. I put on some racks on it, and the front and the back, and then I put on these panniers to hold my stuff. So my bike looked really loaded down. To 6 liters of water. Huh?
Quit messing.
Sorry.
Andy.
A semi would go by and it would blow you over to the side. Sometimes it felt like it was like a turbo boost, and it gave you a little boost. But other times on small roads, when it was oncoming, it was like a wall of force. And it was pretty demoralizing when you already had a headwind and you'd have to like brace for it and know that it was going to slow you down. You had to like power through it. That sucked. All right. You guys like that? Yeah. When random stuff happens outside of your normal routine, it kind of wakes you up and makes you more alert. I've been working on this documentary and, you know, doing a lot of the charity work that I said that I would do, and that has kept me pretty busy. And I'd say in the desert, I probably drank about a gallon to a gallon and a half a day. But the benefit of being on a bicycle and not like having anything to do is being able to get up and ride for a couple hours and finding a shady spot and taking a nap for like 4 hours. This bike trip definitely inspired me to do something that I'm not necessarily like an expert or have a lot of practice in, but I think that whole immersion process of like picking something out that you've always wanted to do and figuring out how to do it and at least attempting to meet your goal. So I don't know what it's going to be really, but I know that I want to do something like this again that takes everything that I have and pushes me to my limits. First pedal out of the airport was the feeling that I got from that was just, it was kind of just like, here we go. And I was really happy, and I wanted to just start yelling at the airport, but I didn't want to get attacked by the security guards. And I hadn't really seen a whole lot of the Southwest, and I thought that it'd be a good way to spend a couple months. So that's kind of what got me into doing the southern tier.
How hard was the first few weeks riding through the mountains, especially?
Like I said, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, and most people go east to west, and for me, I was going west to east, and immediately I had to cross the mountains. So, you know, within the first like 40 miles, I was hitting an incline, and that's when I started to realize how hard the miles a day for the first week, because I knew I wouldn't be in that good a shape. But in the back of my mind, I was kind of hopeful that I would beat that goal and it would be a lot easier. And then the first day I only made it like 20 miles or something, and that was when reality was like, holy crap, this trip might take a lot longer than what I thought. So it was a little demoralizing, but at the same time I knew that I still had time. Well, it started off, like I said, about 30 a day the first week, and then I tried to bump it up, but I didn't get 50 every day. That was like my goal. I'd set out to make an average. I'd roll up on a really good spot to camp, and I'd only have ridden like, I don't know, 30 or 40 miles, and I just called it a day. But then other days when it was a lot faster, I'd be riding like, by the end of the trip I was riding 80 a day, and in extremes like close to 100. These really skinny tires because I thought my efficiency would be better, but I didn't really know that all that weight on a really heavy bike really affects the tires.
How much weight did you carry?
I was carrying about, the bike was about 26 pounds, and all the bags together I think were about 60. So I was carrying a lot of weight. And I ended up actually having to wait in a couple places to order new tires. So the flats I'd say were the biggest learning curve mechanically for me. It wasn't, but
did you stay entertained that whole time? Did you get a little loopy sometimes?
Yeah. There was definitely times where I would say, a little bit in my own world, being by myself and the monotony of pedaling. I started to kind of get a little crazy at some points, especially when like you felt like the odds were really against you. You had wind and hills. I used Spotify, and I made my own playlists and stuff. And then other times, it just kind of depended on my mood. While I was riding along the beach, I'd listen to Bob Marley or some reggae. You really have to change it up, or else you get bored.
Okay. So, what kind of clothes did you pack, or what did you carry on your bike with you?
I carried a lot of stuff that I didn't need to at first, and I ended up mailing back like 8 pounds of stuff. Like I brought a travel guitar with me, and it just turned out that like my hands were hurting and I couldn't play the way I wanted to, so it was like I mailed that back.
In a town maybe, or?
So I had this like moral like standing, like I'm gonna ride every mile myself. I'm gonna do it all on my own. And I had to break that one time. I was riding through Baton Rouge, and I was riding on a pretty crappy road, and it was really busy. And I crossed this bridge called the Morganza Spillway. And the Morganza Spillway is like a 4-mile bridge with no shoulder and 2 lanes of traffic going about 75 miles an hour. And I thought it was a shorter bridge that like I'd be across in a minute or two, but it turned out that I was riding in a lane with all this traffic backing up behind me, and I thought I was gonna die like 3 times. I literally was like, I'm getting hit, this is the end. Luckily I didn't, but after that, I was coming into the city of Baton Rouge, and I had another really big bridge to cross, and I was like, it's not worth me dying for, you know? So I stood on the side of the road, and this local dude, kind of sketchy, but super nice, picked me up. I threw my bike in the back of his truck, and he was like, man, I'll take you where you need to go. And he actually, traffic was really busy at the time, so he just dropped me off. It was like 2 miles, I would say. So technically I didn't ride every single mile, but I kind of feel like I did enough detouring that it counts. So if you don't like it, you can screw off. I would mostly be in parks or sometimes on the side of the road. In the country, there's some really beautiful spots, and every day was almost like a challenge to find the best spot with the best amenities. That became a really important thing, is like, where can I sleep that when I wake up in the morning I can fill my water bottles up, or a bathroom, or a place to eat close by, historical markers, stuff like that. Churches became like a really good place to stay, because people in churches, no matter what denomination, they're always willing to help you out, and I can't thank the churches enough, really. Peanut butter, you gotta have the protein, tortillas, stuff that was quick, that didn't really need a lot of heat for during the day, and then noodles, carbs, rice, stuff that I could cook on my stove. there were times that I definitely wanted to give up. I don't think that in my mind I really ever considered the possibility of giving up. I knew that if my bike broke down or something of a really high monetary value happened to where I couldn't afford to go on, that would maybe be the end of the trip. But I tried not to focus on that because those like negative thoughts and fears like slow you down. So I didn't focus on that, but I did want to quit sometimes. You just have to press on, really, and be dedicated to what you set out to do and know that the next day is going to be better. And also, to know that that part of my life was over. But it doesn't necessarily mean I'll never do a bike trip again. I actually have plans to do another one in the future, but for that moment, it was done. So a lot of emotions were going through my head. I didn't cry, but I wanted to because it was a magical moment. Yeah. I can't really, until you have like struggled and went through everything and had all the ups and downs, there's no real way to express how it feels to be finished with something that big, you know? Hurt the worst. I started off with this saddle or seat, if you're not a cyclist, that was all leather, and it was made by Brooks. It was a really good saddle, but it needed to be broken in, and they had about a 500-mile break-in time. So my butt was like, I can't like give you the details without you cringing. My habits have definitely changed. I lost 10 pounds on the trip. I've gained most of that back from being more sedentary, I think. But I've been trying to like stay active. I've been swimming a lot, trying to do that every day. I still get on the bike here and there when the weather, and I'll go for a 2 or 3 hour bike ride, but definitely not as active as riding 8 to 10 hours a day. There were a lot of people that I met along the way that helped me out in like small ways and then big ways too. And I have their phone numbers and I've talked to them since then. And I kind of feel like those are relationships that you can always go back to and that people don't really forget. When random stuff happens outside of your normal routine, it kind of wakes you up and makes you more alert. And I think that when people randomly meet you and end up like helping you out, they don't forget that. And you don't forget that either, because the circumstances are so random that it's a good story. Around and just randomly see somebody with a bike, and I'd like start talking to him, and then like one guy, he's like, why don't you just come over to my house and you can stay there? And like I threw my bike in the back of his truck and spent the whole evening with him and his family. And he was a really good artist, and he gave me a tour of all of his art and stuff like that. People never forget. The people are what made the trip, really. On it, I'd have to clean the chain. I had to adjust the handlebars and do stuff like that. Clean the chain like every couple 100 miles. You could tell like it would start making noise, and you're like, oh my gosh, my bike's gonna break down. But it never failed. Like you clean it and it felt like butter again.
Did you ever wreck?
I did. I wrecked. It was I was in Texas, in Del Rio, Texas, and I crashed. They had put oil on the sides of the shoulders, and they didn't put the sign up correctly. It was like 200 yards past where they started doing it, so you couldn't read the sign. And I was riding with another fellow named Steve, and we both, as soon as we got on it, we instantly crashed. And I was so mad. I hurt my wrist pretty bad, and I rode with it the whole rest of the trip, thinking that maybe I had, broken it, but I don't think it was broken. At least I didn't never find out. But yeah, I'm surprised that I didn't crash more, because riding a bike with all that much weight is not the easiest thing in the world.
Cars flying by.
Yeah. I think that's the most dangerous part, is the traffic. The traffic is scary, especially nowadays with people texting on their phone. I kind of thought that it'd be cool to just start in Europe and just every bike ride just keep going a little bit farther until I go all the way around the whole world. Wouldn't necessarily have to do it all at once, but I've already got North America, so why not? My name's Carter Forney. I'm 28 years old, and I rode my bike across the US, and it was really awesome.
That's a wrap.